Bernie Sanders and the socialists who think that we could just give away college education, $15, and keep on running the debt, that the debt is in fact the biggest threat to America. And you, as someone with a background in accounting, you should recognize that your vision for America is not grounded in fiscal reality.
The problem is that there are, the liberal democracy is controlled by wealthy people, and wealthy people tend to be the creditors of the government, and they don't want to not get paid. They're busy extracting taxpayer wealth to pay these treasury notes and bonds, and it's really a problem.
But just the fact is that no, we can't afford to keep on paying. We don't have that much money. We are headed for fiscal disaster, and it's going to be problematic. Half of people entering retirement have zero savings. I don't know what percentage, like millennials, like 90% of millennials have zero money in the bank. So your parents might have own a house and have a nest egg, hundreds of thousands, maybe God willing, millions of dollars. But the value of their nest egg is dependent on these international markets, because if the U.S. Does like a Brexit type thing and goes our own way and stops allowing foreign investors to purchase our stock in real estate, people who are sitting on the capital are going to see their nest egg shrink in half. And you could argue that it's worth it. You're just saying, like, stop allowing foreign investors to inflate our stock market, stop allowing foreign investors to purchase up all our real estate. But then at the same time, the half of people that are sitting on capital are going to see that drastically fall what they thought they earned, what they thought they had. And so you have this big division between, so to say, the ruling money property class and the masses of people that really have nothing. And the property classes are probably looking at it, okay, we can keep on affording to give welfare as long as we keep open borders. But if we don't have open borders, we're not going to be able to afford the welfare. And even the open borders long term is looking out bad. So just like no matter what we do, we're going to be going bankrupt.
Do you have any thoughts on Charlie Kirk?
He's a conservative ink hustler and a would-be empire builder.
Yeah, well, his Twitter bio says he's a best-selling author.
Yeah, well, that's good to know. Lots of people are best-selling authors. He's building a brand, and but it's not Trump's brand. Because, again, this choice, the free market and choice, just stick with those two things and everything's going to be all right. It's superseded.
And we've got an article here, The Weaponization of Learn to Code, inspired by Trump's rants about the enemy, the people. Far-right trolls aim their memes at newly unemployed reporters. Kevin, is this horrifying? Learn to code.
They did us a solid, man. They did everyone a solid, because this is a suppurating wound for the progressives, because they tried to take over an industry and expel the people who started it, who maintained it, and they got slapped down and slapped down hard. And they keep going back to that well. Oh, Gamergate. It's just like Gamergate. Oh, you mean the time when the good guys won? And essentially a bunch of men said, no, we're not going to have a bunch of lesbians and soy boys take away what we like. No, you're not going to get away with it. And they didn't. And so Gamergate spawned Reddit, 4chan supposedly, right? And Russian bots. Everyone who disagrees with me is a Russian bot. I thought McCarthyism was bad, but I don't believe that during that time, every single instance of dissent was reflexively described as communist inspired. Not all of it. Now, every single bit of dissent from aggressive orthodoxy is described as being Putin-inspired, Russian-inspired. Tulsi Gabbard, Russian agent, apparently. Now, this is good news, too, because there's a realignment going on, and the Democrats are hell-bent on making themselves the party of forever wars. Tulsi Gabbard is against this, so therefore she must be a traitor. I think the Democrats should give a little more thought to how their party is evolving, but I'm not going to complain because this is turning out disastrously for them. Because take a look at this woman, her youth, her beauty, her military service. I mean, I could go on. She's a thoughtful, intelligent woman, and the Democratic Party, and especially the media, is letting everyone know, no, this woman is wicked. There is no room for her. I'm waiting for her to start being attacked on the basis that she comes from Hawaii, and Hawaii is not really part of the United States. I think that's coming. Of course, everyone understands the irony there, right?
Yeah.
Now, as far as reparations go, the reparations have already been paid. Trillions of dollars in reparations. Affirmative action, both official and unofficial. So, I don't really care to hear about that. We want to get into the slave trade. I'm just going to mention this, so I'm going to leave it, okay? Because I don't believe in collective responsibility. But as Hugh Thomas, the late English scholar, who was, by the way, a liberal, demonstrates, among other places, in his book, Rivers of Gold, which is the first of 3 books he wrote about the Spanish Empire, of which he was the foremost expert in the English-speaking world, that the Spanish slave trade was dominated overwhelmingly by conversos, that is to say, by Spanish Jews who had converted to Roman Catholicism after 1492. So if we want to get in collective responsibility, I think that's a can of worms that probably that we best not open.
Yeah, let's move on. I just don't think that's good for the Jews.